Hey, Lo, Noble Rick here. Today let's give Paimon a face up. But first, let's give her a face. Let's make something cool. It's a webtoon comic that I'm drawing and illustrating. 8 fairies are grounded on Earth. But some magic remains. They each have one superpower. The lovely grounded fairies. Spelled with a Z. Check it out on webtoons. Okay, so let's make the face. I did a little rough sketch. I took into account that her head shape is about the size of her hips, at least viewed from the front. So I got the remaining of the flesh color clay. I think this might be a bit more than I need if I'm doing just the face. And of course I've sketched out the size of the face and shape of the face that I want. So what I'm going to do is put the clay in there and work it down to that size and shape. Alright, so I'm just using a regular pen here. All I'm doing now is making an indent right in the middle of the face, right in the halfway point from the top and bottom. And that's a little ditch, you might say, a ditch or a indent, cavern, not cavern, a valley. The nose is a mountain, the forehead is a mountain, valley for the eyes go. Just roll that nose into a point. Pushing and rolling. Soften up these edges too. I'm gonna have the nose pointing out. But I need to get the forehead out as well, so I might just work the forehead up like this. Keeping in mind too that it's going to be the widest part of the head. Push the cheeks in a little bit. Do this kind of round and soft. Roll it until I get into the right shape, in the right places. Pointy chin, pointy nose, and the forehead mounted up enough to line up with the nose. And the nose will stick out, lining up with it. And everything from the nose down will taper down. The chin is lower from the side view than the nose is. Okay, I think I've got her like she needs to be. The eye area is very big, and the bottom part of the face, the nose, the chin, the mouth area, that's very small compared to the rest of the volume of the face. Don't get the forehead out there very far. I'm going to leave it like that. I think that's pretty good. Right, that's her face. Now before the face gets put on, let's try not to make anything. I need to go ahead and put the mantle on, because once you put the face on, the mantle is going to be difficult to get on. But by mantle, I mean this thing. Shaw, mantle, collar, whatever you want to call it. And there's also a blue object, or mantle, that goes on top of that. So let me do that. Okay, so I will put her neck on. That will be sticking out of the clothing. We'll be putting on next. Pinch that off. Alright, so she's got a neck now. Okay, this straw, just your average straw, it's got the diameter to go over that neck. The diameter is a little less than 3/16 of an inch. A little bit more than a quarter of an inch. I'm just going to make that hole, and remember it's off center. Make that hole a little bigger so it'll fit over the neck. Got it very thoroughly. There we go. Alright, so I'm rolling out some navy blue. Making it pretty thin. I'm using paper because my mat's getting destroyed. And also paper tends to keep the clay from sticking. I sketched out the pattern that goes with the mantle, the navy blue in the mantle. So let's cut that out. Little embellishment, little design pattern on her neck. All right, let me go ahead and shape this thing. Okay, I think I shaped it pretty well. As you may recall me saying before, I am looking at a reference offline, a couple of them actually, a couple of 3D renderings of Paimon. Let's do something. Well, no, I guess I can go ahead and do this. Now this is kind of airy. I mean, this thing is supposed to be floating, but it's going to be difficult to achieve here, so I might have to have it simply lay on the mantle like that. Okay, in order to achieve that pyramid shape of the blue on her mantle, in other words, it kind of mountains up toward her neck, but also need to not cover the neck up as much as I can help it, because there's a little bit of her neck peeking through. Let's go ahead and make a little bit of clay. Nothing fancy, so it's just going to hold up the other blue that I'm going to put on next. Blue underneath it. Doesn't matter which color in this case, because this is going to be hidden. Yeah. Got a little scarf there. I'm hoping this mantle will drape as it melts in the oven. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a long strip of this material here. And just kind of, my idea is to wound it around her neck till I get the volume that I need. Make that to a point, shall we? I'm gonna try to grab her where she doesn't seem to mess up so badly under her, or holding her chest and her back. That's the tricky thing about these figurines that you make whenever you have so much detail on them. Tend to be easily destroyed. The detail that you had put on previously. I thought this would look good as a scarf. It's kind of like a scarf, part of her garb. There we go. The technique I'm doing here, looking at the reference image off screen, off camera, is to make the shape a little bigger than the actual shape. Maybe a little too big. Let's put it right here. The idea is that I am going to whittle it down to the right shape and the right size. So I've already got the focus. Rather let me lift the camera. As I've already got these done. Go ahead and shape the last piece. Goes off here somewhere. It's very short compared to the other two. Just gonna whittle it down to the right shape as I reference my image off screen, image off camera. Okay, there we are. I've trimmed it to the right shape using my knife, checking the reference. This is pretty close. This one right here might be a little thin compared to the original image off screen. Now I'm going to bake it. I think I'm going to break my rule and go ahead and cook this, as I've done the mantle, trying to get those things in the right shape. And I'm going to cook it so that it will stiffen up, because otherwise it's going to be like wet noodles laying down her back. So I'm going to make it stand out by cooking it. Okay, the next stage is, while the last design is cooling off from being baked, I'm going to hollow out the head a little bit to reduce some of the weight. This might be a little bit unnecessary, but it's only one wire holding this figure up. What I was after is this round dome forehead. Little end divot here where the eyes will go, just above the nose. And this angle from the nose downwards, sloping downwards to the chin. There's a flat facet right behind the chin, where that goes to the neck. Push that muzzle back a bit, but keeping that tilt from the nose to the chin. Because the chin is further back in the face than the nose is. Okay, I have some flesh tone clay. This one had not had white added to it, but it does not matter because it's going to be covered by hair. It's the back of her noggin. That's the face. And I've manipulated it to make a little bit of hollow and also to make it fit the face. With the noggin on the back. I want the thicker piece to be on the bottom, the heavier piece to be on the bottom. It's kind of hollow. There we go. And she's got a noggin. I have to touch it up a little bit, make it marry in the right places. There she goes. Put it back on her stand. Alright, let's now make her eyes. Now the eyes are gray clay. All I did to make that clay was to take some white and add just a little bit of gray to it. It's not stark white, it's gray clay. Okay, this is something I should have done first. This is chalk. And I'm going to give her blush, which I should have done before making the eyes. But I think at this stage, if I do get it on the eyes, I can scrape it off. Alright, this is just a brush, and I'm vertically jabbing it into the shavings of the chalk. Just chalk. Put it across her cheeks and her nose. The reference picture has it only on the very edges of her cheeks, furthest edges, further apart edges of her cheek. I think there's something cute about having it across the nose. I think that's about enough. Let's get some off over there, making it. Choose this to jab it in there some more. Where I want it to be. Pick her up and blow her face off, so to speak. There we go. See, this 1 inch square is divided into 16 parts. One of those 16 parts, that 16th of a square, that little square, is where you'll have 4 of these fitting inside of it if you were to make 4 of them. So that's what size this is. And then of course I cut that in half, right down the middle. And then I use one of those for each eye. I'm going to apply the last one. Alright, it's a little tricky here. So what you do is you roll this. And it's tricky to make it into a nice perfect sphere. Nothing is there. But to make it more spherical, putting pressure on it and I'm lifting up that pressure gradually while I'm still rolling in a circle to make that as round, as spherical as possible. It doesn't stick as much. The clay doesn't stick as much to the paper. Press that down. It is right there, the blue clay. I'm using a fondant roller. And I'm just pressing down the middle of it there. Gently. Not too hard. Actually make it pretty round. It's a little smaller than the other eye. I'm trying to match the other eye. So let's put a little more pressure on it. Flatten out a little bit more. Pressure, pressure, pressure. I've done this in 3 takes already. And I wanted to stick to the paper. Let's hope it works this time. That's about the right size. It's kind of hard to tell until you get them side by side to one another. The blue, navy blue eyes. Lord, please don't let this mess up. Oh, thank you, Lord. Alright, I trimmed it, basically cutting off edges from it that seem to stick out. It sticks better to my finger than it does to the mat. So I'm going to use that to place this eye, this iris. The colored part of your eye is called the iris. She is sort of cross-eyed looking, which is kind of cute. That is, there is more white on the eyes edges than on the inside of the eyes. Alright, she's coming together. I'm almost afraid to touch her. No, there's more to do with the eyes we've got to do. Okay, I mixed some white in with navy blue. I would say maybe 2/3 white, 1/3 navy blue, because the navy blue will overpower the white quite a bit. I put the highlight on the bottom right quadrant of the eye. That is, if you divide that in quads, quarters. Why is this one not sticking? There we go. And I'll do the same with the other. I try to make them both the same side. That I'm putting it on the bottom right side. That's where I want the highlight to be on these. And I should probably press them down to the back of my nail. Press them down gently, just to make them almost flatter. Gently. Same pressure. There we go. That's the highlight. Looks like she's looking down. Well, that's Paimon. She has a highlight in the very center of her eye. I'm trying to make this other one circular. Catch it with the tip of the... Let's stick to the mat more. There we go. Stick it to the knife. Put this right in the center. That seems to be Paimon. Alright. And maybe just press it slightly with the roll here. So it doesn't look too circular, too spherical. Oh, mercy. What you do to one side is like algebra. What you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other. Same thing on the other side, hopefully just like the other side. We're doing surgery on it or something. There we go. That's about 1 inch in diameter. Thicker in the middle, tapering down to a point on both ends. Going to cut that in half, hopefully right down the middle. We'll cut the eye at. Right, so just touch it with the knife, sticks to the knife, turn it around. Her eyelashes are basically beginning, if you begin from the middle of the head, rather than from the sides, it's basically beginning where her eye itself begins. In other words, it lines up vertically with the eye. She's a little angry there. Now making sure that that's making contact there. I'm going to roll this down, or bend it down, better said. Rolling it may mess things up. Bend it down over that eye. No, she's looking a little more human. Alright. Putting a big lash right in the center of the eye, kind of course, tilted to the other side. Putting it overlapping the other main eyelash. This is a tricky thing. Are you seeing this? Yeah, okay. Make it a little bit. I might want to use my knife to do this. Other knife. Ugh. I wonder how many lashes I've dropped back there. Behind her neck. Overlap so that it's pointing out the right way. And this is also in the eye. I'm going to cut that part. Let's make sure it's making contact so it doesn't pull it all away. And I'm just going to gently cut away that part that went into the eye. There you go. Put it right there. Thank you, Lord. I think it landed right. Okay. This is tedious work here. Tedious. This has been one project, y'all. Project and a half. I do like for it to look like the other side, so let's fill a little bit here. At some point, you may have to say good enough. Not sure what I'm going to do about her mouth. It seems to be an indication rather than actual color of any size or shape. Just an indent, basically. I do that with my nail. I got an unusually long nail at the moment. There you go, she's got a mouth. Done. Now, I'm not a big fan of how big those highlights are in the very center of her eyes. So, against my better judgment, I'm going to try to take those out and make them smaller. Very tiny stuff going on here. Tiny. Right in the dead center. Next time, I guess we'll do the hair. And that should be the last video on this series. Her hair and her crown. Alright, thanks for watching.